Hey guys, Monochrome here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Genuinely good to have you. Today we're taking a look at the Coast KL20R Rechargeable Keychain Flashlight. Now, right off the bat, this is one of those rechargeable flashlights where the battery is encased inside the body of the flashlight, meaning if you typically use a small flashlight because you prefer a minimalist mentality and you often find yourself sometimes swapping batteries because, oh, my flashlight is almost out of juice, but I still need to use it. This is not going to be a good fit for you. With the battery encased inside the body of the flashlight, no access to it at all. Once this thing runs out of juice, you got to toss it on the charger and wait. Although hopefully you have another flashlight that you can use while you're waiting for it to charge up. So that's the first thing. I know that's going to be a disadvantage and a deal breaker for some. For others, not that big of a deal. Another issue with a flashlight that has an encased battery is that this thing has a certain shelf life. It's not as though you can use it, recharge the battery a bunch of times. Oh, now it won't hold a charge, or the battery drains out faster than it used to. Okay, unscrew the tail cap, get rid of the battery, replace it with a brand new one that's compatible with the flashlight. No. When you have an encased battery inside the body of the light that you have no access to, no way to remove the old battery, once it really becomes old and doesn't work effectively anymore, yeah, you got to get rid of the entire flashlight and replace it. And that also is going to be a deal breaker for some. However, those two disadvantages aside, I think this is a flashlight worth considering. So let's take a closer look, and you're probably wondering, how the heck am I reviewing a flashlight that's obviously still in the blister pack? Well, that's because I like this flashlight so much, I bought two. And this is the one we're going to be taking a look at for the review. And it does say Coast just above the fairly large size button. Now, normally I'm not a huge fan of companies putting their name on their product, but in this case, well, I tend to prefer it if they put their product name in very small lettering on their product. That's what I meant to say. But in this case, Coast did an excellent job keeping the branding subtle and tasteful. I really like that. Now, when you open up the blister pack, you do get a small handful of accessories. First of all, that split ring, yeah, that does not come attached to the flashlight. If you want that on there, you're going to have to attach it yourself. Thankfully, it's not too difficult. I used one of my thin titanium pry bars for the job. You can use the tip of your EDC knife, but I don't recommend that for obvious reasons. But yeah, you do get that split ring. It comes in the blister pack. And also in the back of the blister pack, you get this accordion style information booklet about the flashlight. That's nice. And you do get included a length of charging cable, USB to USB-C. That's right, USB-C. So that's very nice right there. Let's face it, who couldn't use an extra charging cable? Now, yes, I did decide to put the split ring onto the flashlight because this is going to be going on my house key ring. The body itself is made from some type of polymer plastic, very lightweight, with some information on the back panel opposite the Coast logo. And maybe you can see that, but just to the right of the Coast name is the model designation of the flashlight, KL20R. You got these grooves or ridges on either side that do help with grip, although generally you're going to be gripping it by the slightly rounded flats. But you do have that as an option if you want it. And the head, that is metal. The rest, some sort of polymer plastic. Again, very lightweight. The button is rubberized. Now, some of you at this point are probably wondering, why does that flashlight look familiar? Well, about 3 years ago, I did a review on the Nightcore Tiki LE model. And yeah, these two could basically be twins. But here's the thing. The Nightcore Tiki LE is a copy of a certain Rovivon flashlight. Nightcore tweaked a few of the features, made it look different enough that they could claim it was a completely different model. Now, the Coast version is, yeah, the Coast and the Nightcore Tiki LE could be twin sisters, basically, identical twin sisters. If this didn't have Coast, you would swear this was Nightcore. Now, here's the thing, guys. I have no clue if Coast borrowed the design without permission from Nightcore, if Coast contacted the same factory in China that Nightcore uses to make the Tiki, or if some executive at Coast called up Nightcore and said, hey, that's a really neat flashlight design. Can we contract that from you? And thus making this model with permission from Nightcore. So I'm not sure what's going on. But as far as I know, obviously, this model exists. It's the spitting image of the Nightcore Tiki LE. And as far as I know, Nightcore is not suing Coast. So maybe this is a situation where Coast has permission to use the design. Who knows? Let's get back to what matters. So yeah, metal. I'm not sure if the bezel is polished aluminum or stainless steel. I mean, this entire flashlight feels just way too light for the bezel to be stainless steel, but I could be wrong. And yeah, once again, polymer plastic construction. Not the greatest feeling polymer, but yeah, absolutely gets the job done. Rubberized activation switch. Now, here's the thing that I really like about this design and the Nightcore version, because if this is in your pocket and it accidentally makes contact with something and this button gets pressed, oh, look, nothing happens. That's right, nothing at all. The thing is, the UI on the Coast version is a lot simpler than on the Nightcore version. And with the Nightcore, you have two separate models. You have one that comes with a UV light as part of the panel, or, yeah, the barrel, which quite frankly, I don't like. I don't want it. I don't want a UV mode on any of my normal flashlights. If I want UV, I have dedicated UV flashlights. I don't want that as a mode on a normal flashlight. No, thank you. And then there's the Tiki LE version that I reviewed about 3 years ago. And it has red and blue lights, flashing lights, steady lights, different intensity, red and blue all along the panel. Yeah, I don't want that. The UI is a bit complicated. The thing about the Coast is that you get a very simplified UI, and I'm very happy about that. But again, you get the safety feature of if you click this one time or something else in your pocket like a coin or your keys makes contact with the button and it gets clicked, you have the safety of, oh, the light is not going to switch on. So, very simple user interface, 3 output levels. If you want low, and low is not that low, I'll be honest. If you're the sort of person who's like, oh, that flashlight low mode is 1 lumen? Oh, that's too much. Give me half a lumen. Could you make it less? Well, no, this is not the flashlight for you. I'm sorry. And seriously, what do you guys do with 1 lumen? I have no clue. My fellow flashlight enthusiasts, do you actually use 1 lumen? I mean, Anyway, low mode on here is 50 lumens. That's right, 50. And guys, as usual, there will be specs in the description box below. Some specs. Check that out when the video is over. But low is going to be 50 lumens. So if you want something that pumps out 1 lumen or less, this is not the flashlight for you. But okay, here's the user interface. Press the button twice rapidly. There we go. Now that is not low mode. That is medium mode. And as you can see, there's a green light there on the rubberized button. That lets you know that your battery is charged up. Some are not going to like that feature. I don't mind. But yeah, that's medium. Click the button once. Flashlight switches off. Now, if you rapidly click twice and then click again, One more time. There's your low of 50 lumens. Yes, medium will always switch on first. And that's my camera adjusting for the output or the brightness. But yeah, so 3 rapid clicks to get to low mode of 50 lumens. I know some of you are like, what the heck? I don't want that. Fair enough, fair enough. Personally, I don't mind. I rarely use low. But yeah, if you want to conserve battery life a bit, again, low mode is 50 lumens, which even I think is a little too high. But yeah, low mode, 3 rapid clicks, and the button does light up. As you can see, it's not switching off. Medium mode, 2 rapid clicks, and then once your flashlight has been on for a while, 1 click turns it off. Yes, there is no momentary. And it does have a turbo setting of a claimed 380 lumens. That's the third setting, 380 lumens, not out the front. So you're definitely getting less than 380. Now that's something made mostly for emergencies, like, oh crap, what's that over there? Let me light it up real quick. And this is the flashlight you have on you. And so you need to light something up for just a handful of seconds or just a few seconds. Brightest setting, 380 rated lumens. Yep. Here's how you get it. You press the button and hold it down. Hold it down. There we go. Instant rapid adjustment from my camera. There's your 380 rated lumens. And again, only for a few seconds. Do not leave it on. And the nice thing about turbo mode, although there is no momentary function with medium or low, with turbo there is. Let go, and the flashlight turns off. I think that's a great feature because mechanically speaking, it's impossible for you to accidentally leave it on turbo mode and basically burn a hole in your pants pocket. So yeah, that's it. Once again, 1 click does nothing. 2 rapid clicks. Medium mode. Use it for a little while. 1 more click, off. 3 rapid clicks. There's your low mode. Or 2 quick clicks to get to medium, and then immediately afterwards, 1 more click will get you to low. And as for turbo, press and hold. There's your turbo. And yes, the flashlight does start to heat up. It does, absolutely. So yeah, only for emergencies, only for a very rare use, momentary only on turbo, let go, it switches off. And oh yeah, this is already a little warm. I'm glad that it has a metal bezel. There's the LED and the reflector. Now this is going to be a bit difficult to see. I'm going to try to bring it a bit closer. Let's see. Can you see that? Probably not. Hold on a sec. Yeah. Right there. Right there. There's a little tab right there You pull on that little tab and it exposes the charging port on the underside of the flashlight. It's right there, that little tab. Yep, you pull on that, it exposes the charging port, charge it up. When you're done, close that up. Now, this is still a relatively new flashlight, so I haven't had any issues with the little rubberized cover. But yeah, that's something you get on all small rechargeable flashlights with an encased battery. So that's just the nature of the beast. That's how it is. If you don't like that, then this style of flashlight altogether might not be for you. Personally, I like it enough that I actually bought a second one. I'm going to leave this like this. I'm going to use this one. I don't anticipate any problems because Coast is a good quality flashlight company. I know a lot of people think of it as poor man's LED lenser. And I really can't agree with that. I mean, yes, the quality isn't quite as good as LED lenser. Coast is thought of as mostly a somewhat budget brand, but they do make good quality lights overall. Some of their other products, maybe not so much, but the lights, yes. Good quality overall, less expensive than LED lenser. Some people might think of it as the difference between Gap versus Old Navy, where clothing that isn't good enough for Gap ends up at Old Navy. I don't think that's an entirely accurate description of LED lenser compared to Coast. But yeah, this light specifically, I like it. Keep in mind its limitations. Keep in mind its disadvantages that come with all flashlights that have an encased battery. And I don't think you'll be disappointed. Yeah, this little guy is going on my main keyring with my house keys on it. I just like the simpler UI compared to the Nightcore version. No red, no blue, no ultraviolet, no flashing beacon or flashing red and blue lights. Yeah, no, just simple UI, easy to memorize, easy to use. You get low, medium, turbo, that's it. That's it. And for a lot of people, that's going to be enough. All right, guys, that's it for today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this flashlight review. Please stay safe out there. Yes, it's still dangerous. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.